Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Joseph Pith and this is the Pith Take. Now I will preface this video by stating that all of the content is just opinion. I'm not asserting that any of this is accepted fact or unequivocally applies to all men. It's just a few thoughts of my own. As such, I'm sure it may be considered very toxic. It's my opinion that men need adventure. There's a lot to process in those three words, far more than I'll get anywhere close to unpacking in what will likely be quite a short video. Now firstly, I'm not going to waste any time here defining what I mean when I refer to men. If your first, second, or even your third question was, who do we mean by men? Then you may find this a bit of a challenging watch. I guess I definitely should, however, offer a definition for adventure. And for the sake of keeping this video focused on the main point that I'd like to discuss, I've been a bit lazy and I've opted for a dictionary definition of adventure. And that in itself wasn't actually as easy as you'd think, to find something not completely diluted. But I've opted for this one. Adventure, a bold, usually risky undertaking, a hazardous action of uncertain outcome. I quite like that one. In most Western culture, I really feel like the word has become somewhat synonymous with childish activities, as if even use of the word in any serious context casts the user as someone not really engaged in real life, someone looking for an escape. Adventure is a very valuable and formative part of childhood, that's for sure, and that idea seems to have been allowed to endure, whereas the comparable, though I would definitely argue far greater value of adventure pursued into adulthood, has been pretty much written off, as our lives have become ever more comfortable and small. I'm not saying that men are no longer doing adventurous things. I mean, of course they are, but modern day adventure has largely been reduced to a sort of chaperoned activities, with much of any risk assessed out of proceedings. I mean, there are some things where an inherent risk is unavoidable. You got to ask, why do you think so many men own motorcycles? And lots of men do pursue activities far removed from anything like an organised outing. Personally, I've jumped out of aeroplanes, I've rappelled behind waterfalls, I've crawled through tiny sewer tunnels, ridden motorbikes across Africa, crashed motorbikes in Africa, which I do not recommend. But in all of those things, you kind of find yourself asking, what is it that we're chasing? And to get to the pith of the matter, historically, depending how far you care to go back, a spirit of adventure was essential to survival, really. To take risks and to push beyond what was usual was an everyday requirement. It wasn't something that was partitioned off from daily life or organised as something for its own sake. From that, that sort of essential footing came testing and growth and resilience and resourcefulness, self-awareness, character, and really just a confidence in your own abilities. And by extension, your family and your friends gained benefit from your willingness to take risks, which you would have done as much for them as for yourself. I think it's that we're chasing, and it's that has been lost. So if we fast forward to 2025, with so many men in the West living relatively safe and sedentary lives, where no part of the day requires us to risk much of anything, when adventure as a daily imperative has been banished, then choosing adventure for growth and for well-being becomes a genuine need for men. How can you know what potential there is in you to become more if you don't put yourself in challenging and uncomfortable situations? Of course there's enjoyment in it and camaraderie, but whether we acknowledge it or not, it is far more than just the mere pursuit of fun, isn't it? See you in the next one.